Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to JARCast 232. Is it right?
No.
I did it.
Yeah.
Oh
my... No, I changed that. 232, we got it.
Wait, No, it's correct. I made it. It is correct. Episode 232. I'm your host, Alex, joined as always by Smart Mort himself, James. Yeah.
Yeah, Smart Mort himself.
And Beast over there. How you doing?
Yeah. Smart Mort.
Maybe we should just all do that. Yeah.
Smart Mort.
Welcome to the Smart Mort part of the show where we thank the patrons who make the audio version of the show possible, and you get your names read out if you're a Sandy tier or above in the first week of each month. I guess in terms of housekeeping and cleaning up and all this sort of nonsense.
The comment barrel part of the show.
Yeah, but even just quickly before you go into that, is there anything on the Patreon that's coming? We got the E3 video, because we'll be talking about that a little bit in this episode, but we've detached the Halo conversation because
we had more to talk about.
I just had a feeling this episode would otherwise be just a Halo podcast.
Yeah.
And it was
that's relegated.
It was probably the biggest thing from E3 anyway to actually talk about. So
yeah, one of them other stuff we'll get onto in a minute, but first, housekeeping, where we address some comments and feedback from the last episode. Alex is going to get us going regarding our conversation about football, because footy's on at the moment. People are hyped, here in the UK especially. Listening to the football discussion was fascinating to me as a huge fan of the sport. On Jamie's point about preferring fiction, I think football can excel in a great storyline. I would say my favourite part of watching football is not the actual 90 minutes played, but the debates, discussions, narrative, and tension surrounding a match. Football has also given me some of my greatest friendships. Just offering my perspective, and I completely understand those who don't care for it.
See, I understand that when it's like the really big matches, like
I can understand
matches,
that.
Just not when it's like Swindon Town versus Ipswich.
It's never going to be the same though as a good story, is it? You know, like the story, like it's a totally valid thing to get from watching the sport, but you know, it's not exactly The Last Jedi, is it?
Jack has one for us. The funniest bit of the r/FNAF debacle, this is referring to Jar Media overtaking the FNAF subreddit somehow. I guess one of the mods just is a jarling or somehow managed to snag it. But yeah, it's actually reverted to a real FNAF subreddit. And there are still jarlings stowed away there. So whenever there's a post about who's your favourite animatronic, half the comments just say James or something to that effect. So check out r/FNAF if you want a wicked good time. VoltTech AU has one regarding these strategy games James is into at the moment. If the Grand Strat boys want to get into the Paradox ones, I suggest they start with Hearts of Iron 4. James's comments on the unit management reminded me how meticulous the other games in the franchise can be because their main focus is on other mechanics, whereas Hearts of Iron is mainly about warfare. IMO, it's the easiest to learn, but none of the Paradox games are especially user-friendly when you're first starting out. The boys got it right when they said Civ is the best starting point for these games. I started out with Civ 5 and then worked through some of the Total War games and then on to Paradox. Also, your super scary ghost place talk scared me, and I'm on the literal opposite side of the world. Stay strong, cringes.
No, I've looked into the Paradox games because they do like Europa Universalis. Yeah, and they do a few others. I've looked into them, but it's just because I'm in Total War at the moment that I need to get through those and then down the line. But yeah, we all started. I started a Civ 5. You started a Civ 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just the best way to get into these type of games.
Schledit left one in regards to Jim and I having a little section talking about Bloodborne. I really hope Jim and Alex play through Bloodborne, including DLC someday, because I really do think they're mistaken. It's way tighter than Dark Souls 1, and actually harder IMO if you include DLC. The level design is almost as good and the boss quality is much higher. I can see how you would prefer Sekiro, as it's much more refined, but I do prefer Bloodborne. It also has the best story and lore IMO. The backbone of Lovecraft does a lot for it.
See,
I would play it if it was on something that wasn't the PS4.
Anything
if I could just play it at 60 frames on something, I would happily play that game.
Yeah, that one fact makes the game less tight.
Yeah.
It just feels worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst feeling FromSoft game.
Yeah.
I did try Bloodborne. I actually did try it when I had the PS4. I tried it for a bit. Yeah, it didn't feel good.
The Lovecraftian aesthetic, though, is really good in that game.
Yeah, all story stuff, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have finished it if I just had access to it on hardware I didn't dislike.
Yeah. r/jar media left one. In response to Jim saying that you can't go too far with certain tastes unless it's heat, I'd argue saltiness is even harsher a taste when used excessively. As someone who's accidentally drank a gulp of water from the Dead Sea, it fucking sucks. Your entire face feels like it's morphing into ash from the dryness, and bottled water literally tastes sweet in comparison. The saltiness lasts even longer than something incredibly spicy, in my experience. There are remedies for extreme spice, but extreme saltiness is another beast entirely. Beast.
How did this person accidentally drink from the Dead Sea?
Maybe they're on a paddle and they just...
I've accidentally had a mouthful of seawater and like swallowed it. Like if you're sat like in the ocean a bit, and a wave just catches you and just launches down your throat.
It's just because this is like specifically to the Dead Sea where it just...
Yeah, I've got loads of little kid memories of being in the sea and just a wave flipping you upside down and dunking you under the ocean.
Yeah, that's why I don't go near the sea.
No, this person's
awesome.
Totally right. Salt is
terrible.
Fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, salt's one of the only things I don't add to my food ever. Because there's going to be salt in the food anyway. I don't get when people like absolutely cover it with salt after they've made it.
Yeah, it depends on the food to me. Because stuff like chips and fries and stuff.
Yeah, I prefer my chips and fries with no salt. No salt at all. Yeah. Like McDonald's fries...
You're lying, dude. You're just straight up lying.
No. I'm not lying. I will still eat it, but I'm saying my preference is like no salt. You go to McDonald's and sometimes you get that the shit batch where they don't salt it. It's like straight out of the fry into the packs.
That's your favourite.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Because of the salt.
That's so fucked up. Because all it is then is like tasteless potato.
Yeah,
they have their like special potatoes made to be tasteless and perfect. Like. So they can just cover it in salt, and all you're eating is carby salt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not the biggest fan of salt. I don't really add it on anything. Even when I make meals, I won't ever add it.
What did I mean, though, when I said you can't go too far with tastes other than spice?
I don't know, bro.
Thinking about that now, that's just, like, so stupid.
Well, maybe it was taken slightly out of, I don't know, whatever. HJ Day 10 has our penultimate one for this section. Hello, Jarmen. I've got some Swindon-based trivia for you.
Oh, no.
After Alex spoke about Talking Heads at the beginning of the last episode, I thought I'd ask if any of you have heard of the band XTC, Ecstasy. They started around the same time as Talking Heads and had a similar style musically, but they were from Swindon. The funny thing is, though, the lead singer blames being from Swindon for the reason they didn't sell well. He once said, Ecstasy were clever and came from Swindon, so therefore we were crap. And their label told them to change their accents and deny their Swindon origins. I find it funny how Swindon was such a shithole that it may have stopped this band from reaching a bigger audience. They even have a song called English Roundabout, which was inspired by the infamous Magic Roundabout. Truly a wonder worthy of a song. I hope you've enjoyed this little piece of Swindon history. Definitely check out their album Drums and Wires if you're interested in them. Keep up the good work, boys.
I have heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard of that story before.
I heard one of their songs kind of recently, and someone told me, "Oh, they're from Swindon." You know? I was like, I kind of didn't believe them because it was on like MTV.
Yeah. No, I think I know a couple of their songs. I'm not familiar with their album they recommended, but
no,
I'd be willing to listen if they're sort of similar style.
But that's what Swindon does, though. You know, if you're born,
it makes you embarrassed to be from there.
It's like a black hole. It just tarnishes.
And everyone associated with it wants to just mask it away.
Yeah.
Finally, then, I was like slamming The Legend of Korra
You were.
season 2 last episode. So there were lots of comments about that. Actually, largely agreeing with me what I was saying about season 2, but there were some people saying things like Matthew Edge here who says, "It sucks to hear that you didn't like Korra as much. I agree that the animation in season 2 has a huge downgrade, which is because they changed animation studios for the majority of episodes, but the original studio returns towards the end of the season, and it returns to its original visual quality. Season 2 is by far the worst of all Last Airbender and Korra seasons, but I'd really recommend you stick through it. Once you get to season 3, the quality improves hugely. In my opinion, it's almost on par with The Last Airbender. Thanks mostly to the final 2 seasons' villains. Seasons 3 and 4 still have their own self-contained plots, unlike The Last Airbender's overarching hero's journey story, but I think the final 2 seasons handle it much better than the first 2, and there are far more recurring plot threads between seasons 3 and 4 than there were seasons 1 to 2. Sorry if this comment was a bit long and rambly. Keep up the good yogs pog, lads." Yeah, enough comments were left in this kind of style that is, I think they've convinced me to...
Really?
I can't decide whether to just skip season 2 because I was not liking what I saw of it.
How far through it did you get?
I think I was 3 or 4 episodes in.
I would
many is
skip.
it?
10 episode seasons. Because in my mind, it's why I have the 30-minute rule for like bad movies. If there's nothing in that 30 minutes, genuinely nothing, like in no world is it even going to be good.
Yeah,
you know. It kind of applies for when I'm just not gelling with the story at all. But do I stick through it because it gets good at some point, or do I just skip to 3 and just see what I think?
I'd skip to 3 personally.
But there's like the completionist thing where it just feels so wrong.
Yeah, especially with a TV show. I don't think I've ever like skipped a season of a TV show.
Yeah, normally it just starts getting bad at some point or something, and I just stop. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll continue at some point. Topics. Before we go into this E3 one, I want to just throw out what the intro on the video version would have been. While I was watching E3 in my living room, just chilling, just waiting to see Halo, really, see what they had in store. Really boring conference, so I was like sat there like bored out of my mind. And then all of a sudden, this huge kerfuffle. It's boiling hot in the UK at the moment, so the like back door was open. Fucking Paisley, I guess, is my golden retriever, is like a psycho, and she, accidentally or not, has laid a trap for birds. She's turned my garden into this like hell zone, like Jabba's palace, like underneath. It's like that, but for seagulls, because she chews on these like bones. There's like nothing in them, it's just the bone part. She just chew on the raw bone, but she's like collected them in a circle in the garden. And just at this exact moment in the day, this damn seagull must have seen one of the bones from a certain angle and just swooped down into the garden trying to get it, not realizing there was a little corgi just waiting there, excited, ready to go for it. Started chasing it, but then the actual
ambush.
bird killer. It was foreshadowed months ago with her pigeon event. She's upgraded to
seagulls.
Yeah,
seagulls now.
That's the big thing to take away from this, because there was debate as to if she actually captured that pigeon herself, or if it just like happened to die.
I think this confirms it, man.
Yeah, she definitely, because like gun dogs, they're meant to go and retrieve a bird that's been shot. Not like charge a bird that's like just briefly landing and killing the thing.
Yeah,
That's
she's
wild.
definitely got high prey drive.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But it was a full-on brawl because seabirds aren't like pathetic little pigeons.
No.
No,
It was
know
like
from a first-hand experience. How
This
scary
is
they are.
like the MCU of JARCast, or like the characters coming together. The seagull from
It's
a
the
few
same
seasons
seagull.
ago.
Yeah.
It's the same
The
seagull.
Loki of Jar.
It was trying to get revenge in some way, but it got blasted by a couple dogs. I don't think it got hurt. I don't know what happened to it.
It does. It does look like in the video that she like jabs it.
But That's the thing about golden retrievers, though, is they're ridiculously gentle. But I don't know if the prey drive over.
But she literally killed a pigeon, though. Like, surely, I don't think she was gentle in that situation.
But in the video, you can see she's kind of scared of the sharpness of that beak.
Isn't going to put much of a fight up, you know.
Well, they were properly fighting it, and the only way I managed to break the fight up was I had to like rip the headset off and like stand up and be like, "What the fuck's sake? No one's gonna believe me." I had to go get like a scoop of dog food and was like, "Guys, this is way more interesting, right?" And it? Paisley was having like a which do I go for type thing for a bit, but she eventually retreated in for the food.
So when you went out with the food, was the seagull still round the corner?
They had it like pinned like in the video, yeah.
Because
like, just surrounded.
At the end of the video, it like goes around the corner and you don't see.
That's it, yeah. Because just shortly after that was when I'd gotten up by then and was running around to break it up or whatever.
So the seagull flew away. I assume.
Yeah. This isn't. So I didn't have to deal with the body this time.
Yeah. So it couldn't have been that damaged if.
Well, yeah, it was a big bird, and she wasn't like in it doing the like killer dog thing, you know, when it's in the mouth and they're shaking it. Like, she was more cautious of it. But yeah, that was more exciting than the actual E3 I watched, if I'm being real.
Yeah, E3. No, I didn't even watch it because, and I'm glad I didn't. It seemed that there was nothing of any interest that was actually.
When saying that, there were a few things I noted down that I like, kind of liked.
Yeah, some things piqued my interest, but as a whole, it's made me wonder if because from memory, every E3 is kind of like you get excited, and then you either get disappointed or you're just entertained through pure cringe the whole time.
Yeah, the cringe epicness balance.
Yeah, and the cringe factor's kind of gone.
Yeah, you needed like mics just cutting out randomly and people in the crowd awkwardly
and just
saying
like a
stuff.
random influencer that they get on stage and they don't tell them what to say.
I think I'm getting the vibe now that E3 is kind of dying. All the other...
I don't know why it's come back. I don't know why they've even bothered to bring it back. Like they showed
if you're not doing it in person.
Yeah, they showed last year that you can just do a stream and get the exact same shit across.
And with more companies doing their own thing, their own independent like launch direct day or
Did you see how bad some of it went though? Like, did you see any of the fucking Gearbox stream? Did you see any of it?
No.
It was actually so bad. Like, there's this section where Randy Pitchford is like, he's on set of the Borderlands movie, right? And he's he's like going around like, yeah, let's go find Kevin Hart, everybody. And it's like the fucking worst video.
Does he find Kevin Hart?
I went off it before he got to him. Yeah.
Wait, Kevin Hart's in the Borderlands?
He was like interviewing Eli Roth, who's directing it. And it's just so awkward and weird.
Really? Yeah, that movie's going to be trash. You know? That movie is going to be awful.
Do you know, I've got more hope for it than for Free Guy.
Yeah.
No, but Jack Black is Claptrap.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe they'll make him... Nah, he's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
You can't make that character not annoying.
Yeah, totally.
But as far as the things I actually liked, that was new. Actually, I don't know if any of it was new, to be honest. Because like Atomic Heart has been around for ages. Hades has been out for ages. Halo we've known about. You know, other two I noted down were Somerville and Replaced. One of them is, I think, the Inside Limbo team.
Yeah, it really looked like it.
Yeah, it might not actually be them, so I might be wrong on that, but I can't keep track of all the like different names of the devs at a certain point. There's so bloody many of them. There was some stuff that I think Replaced was the one with Green Goblin. Good evening, Spider-Man, you know.
What, Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe and a couple other actors.
What type of game is it? I don't know how I missed this.
Did you not see that?
I watched like the whole stream, but...
Really, you missed that? It was like really clearly the Green Goblin. Like,
I might have just taken my headset off for like a split second and...
Yeah, it was like a time loop game thing. It seems
Right.
story based, or I don't know. Seems interesting. And then Halo, I was pretty disappointed by. We will talk about that in the side video, which should actually be up by the time this is out. But
Yeah, but I was expecting something big, just one big thing. You know?
Yeah, I thought Bethesda were going to bring it a bit more.
Yeah, for sure. And
they showed Starfield's.
I just remember
thing.
that there was one E3 where or it sort of became a common thing where it's like, this thing is available right now.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff I normally get excited for, and like even Hades.
That would have been
I was
cool.
expecting them to say.
Well, the win
I
would have
will
been to do that with Halo flying, and you can download the beta now.
Yeah. That's another thing I was anticipating, the beta announcement. But
Mhm.
yeah. All in all, it's just the same E3 feeling as ever, really.
Yeah.
Just like,
I've not come away excited for anything, really.
yeah, the only thing that really I'm a lot more excited for now is Starfield.
Yeah, I was a bit more like, I'll give this
Mhm.
game a chance.
Yeah, with the announcement of them actually like updating their engine from Oblivion, it's like, so that they're actually trying then.
Well,
They're not
no,
just
you
Fallout
can take
76ing in space.
You can take that different ways. Because it's either they're going to make a new engine, or they're going to do like the Fallout 4, which is they're just going to remake it look nicer.
They've said it's like, I don't know what their engine's called, but it's called that engine 2.
I just hope. Because
But
Bethesda...
they said the trailer was supposed to be in-game engine, whatever that means. Is that DICE or way of saying it, or
Yeah, it
is that
totally
actually like
is.
the game?
But I feel like the Fallout 76 engine, you could not stretch that engine to show you the stuff that it does in Starfield.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, if what Bethesda's always nailed is like exploration sort of stuff, and if they can do that on like a planetary level with different planets and shit, it could be.
Yeah, but maybe
really
that's too ambitious. Because the thing that works with Fallout, Skyrim is the fact
Skyrim
that
at the time, people would have said was too ambitious. Like,
no, but you can't cram as much detail into when it's that big. Because there would just be barren lands. Because you have to. Because you focus all of your attention.
I don't mean
things.
like literal planets. Like,
You just mean on a
that
much
game.
bigger. Kind of scale.
Just different maps.
So what really is just the Outer Worlds, the way the Outer Worlds did it. Loads of different maps in different locations.
But not shit.
Outer Worlds was actually announced as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've talked a lot about Outer Worlds 1 and that it was like a proof of concept, really. Like, you can tell it didn't have the big bucks behind it.
Yeah, which is weird for like a Microsoft-owned studio.
Yeah, but
It wasn't though when they made that game.
Yeah.
It was Take-Two, wasn't it?
It became Microsoft-owned.
Yeah.
During the development of it.
Just not from the get-go was when they kind of laying it all down.
I mean, I can't comment on like the comment of the game really. I didn't play it that long because the gameplay's so shit.
The gameplay wasn't
that's
the best.
problem I had.
But it had everything you wanted. It had all of that character choice and all the different character-based stuff you could do in it. It had the Bethesda charm, and it's not Bethesda, the Obsidian charm, and it's just if they can take that and actually make it big with a lot more everything.
Well, if they can make the gameplay good, or just never force you to do it. That's my thing with like Obsidian games. Like, if the focus is story and shit, find a way to make the gameplay about that instead of the awful gameplay.
No, but they've always done that. There's loads of situations in New Vegas when you can just talk your way out. Just you don't have to get in fights. You just have to talk.
Yeah, but there's also just like all the shit where you're walking around like shooting animals in outer worlds.
Yeah, that's the problem with it.
Yeah, but if they can make that stuff feel really good, then the game would easily be amazing.
But yeah, I've got more faith in that than any other game that was announced at this E3.
Really?
Like Rainbow Six Extraction and
The Avatar game.
Avatar.
Ubisoft just whipping out the big guns.
Ubisoft, man. Far Cry
6.
Six.
No
Far Cry
interest.
6 looks
no
awful.
interest in it.
I hate the way the idea is you're like a rebel overthrowing a fascist dictator, and then it's like chicken. You get
the epic chicken, yeah.
You get an epic chicken that fights people alongside you, and they did the same thing in 5 with like the bear.
But it's like because like YouTube thumbnails for like Far Cry 3 with a funny animal, crazy, and it's just been there now. Yeah.
But it's like the idea of like overtaking like a really extreme right wing government as a rebel like by yourself is actually an interesting concept. You can make that work in a really nice way, just not when it's made by Ubisoft.
Has it not always just been what Far Cry like the setup? It's like a bad guy, an oppressive bad guy you've got to take down. It's like the whole gimmick.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Far Cry has I've written Far Cry off since Far Cry 3. Like everyone since it's just been
maybe
shit.
Blood Dragon, that was alright.
That was Far Cry 3 pretty much. And then Far Cry 2 is the best Far Cry you can get. That's the best experience.
I just hate the way they use levity. It's like they're afraid to make anything too serious because they got Gus Fring to be the bad guy, and he's clearly gonna like.
But Ubisoft's been bad for that though. They're they seem to be trying to get upvoted on Reddit front page type shit, with their games. I get that from Gearbox a bit as well.
Yeah, totally.
What about Tendo?
Yep, Breath of the Wild 2. Like, what can we say? It's going to be great. It's going to be incredible. It's Breath of the Wild 2. It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be.
Yeah, it looks
incredible.
Cool.
I can't imagine it not just being ridiculously good when it comes out.
It's probably gonna make the exact same waves like the first one did. Twitter is just gonna be full of all these people doing these wacky things with.
Yeah, the only thing is, I think they're reusing the same map, but like adding more to it.
They would have redesigned it to like a certain extent as well.
Yeah, but I just wonder if it won't have the same impact because it's going to be the same formula, and once you repeat a formula, it's not like.
Depends what tools they give you.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, their formula is good as fuck, so it's going to be a good game.
Was there anything else from that one? I didn't actually watch the Nintendo one. I just watched that Zelda trailer.
Metroid something.
Dread?
Yeah, Dread.
Metroid Dread.
It's like a 2D Metroid. If it gets good reviews, I'll buy it. But if it doesn't, then whatever. I don't really mind.
I think I have this. Let me look.
Yeah, apparently the Metroid games aren't even like really that big sellers. They just love within the industry because they're so important for their design clout.
Yeah.
There's Nintendo did just like a bunch of ones I'm not familiar with, like Super Monkey Ball, Cruise and Blast. There's a new Dragon Ball, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Wario got a new game. Fatal Frame, like not much really.
I think the consensus is that it was a good one, but I don't really care
about. Yeah, I'm in the same boat
about a lot of it. So I just sort of skipped over it.
Like the thing I was hoping to come from a Nintendo stuff was Fire Emblem, because it's been ages since Three Houses, so it makes sense for a new one to be out, and there's been nothing on Fire Emblem for a while. So that would have made my hype levels go 10 out of 10. Better than GTA 5 hype levels. Incredible hype levels.
Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit. It was only like a couple years ago.
Couple years ago, GTA 5.
No, the houses.
I love Three Houses.
It was only like 10 years ago.
Yeah, every GTA was 10 years ago. Yeah.
No, 2 years ago. Three Houses.
Yeah, 2 years ago, and I love Fire Emblem, so I'm going to be more excited.
I always thought Fire Emblem was pretty much annual.
Yeah, it's every like 3 years. That's why I'm like, what the fuck, where's Fire Emblem?
The thing is, with Nintendo, they just do like a direct whenever they want to as well.
Yeah, so I think they've got one upcoming.
E3 anyway. For them is like even more pointless, because they have these regular updates. So...
Do you know, it's actually one thing that when the next GTA gets announced, I don't think I'm going to care all that much. I've kind of passed my like Rockstar phase. Like Red Dead 2, loved Red Dead 1. By the time I got to Red Dead 2, I didn't even finish it, didn't even start it. I missed out on it. And I think it's going to be the same with GTA 6.
We'll see.
Because at the end of the day, I'm probably not going to be able to get it anyway because, scalpers are still, like, selling fucking PlayStations and Xboxes at stupid prices.
Yeah, maybe in 30 years when the next GTA comes out, the PlayStation 16 will be...
Do you think...
PlayStation weren't even there.
Because Rockstar are cutting the GTA 5 support for the Xbox 360 and do you think that is somewhat leading the way to the next one, or do you think it's like they're trying to save money, they're trying to make more money from less outgoings?
Probably more just maintaining that old version is just a ball ache.
Yeah, like it's pointless now. The player base probably got to like a low enough point where they were just like, fuck it.
The same thing happened with Destiny when that was on 360, PS3.
Yeah. And every game that has multiplayer on like the 360, they're all just going to be shutting down if they haven't already.
Yeah, I think next year will be the good game year.
Yeah, Elden Ring.
Yeah,
I ain't got much hope in any games. I'm not up to date on games. I know Warhammer 3 is coming out, and I'm gonna play that. Whee!
Any other E3 beats before the mid-break?
Not really. E3 kind of lame. E3 kind of out of date. E3 kind of shit. E3 as good as they say. E3 as bad as they say.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom, there you go. Thanks for watching this video. We'll catch you next year on the next E3 video. Boom. Oh yeah, Battlefield 2042. We didn't mention that.
Oh yeah, shit.
Must have left an impression then.
Yeah, but like whatever. It's fucking Battlefield.
Yeah, I've got more faith in it because they're like, there's no fucking campaign, there's no fucking battle royale shit. It's just focus on multiplayer, which is what it should be.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, but it's like, will they actually make the game good?
Battlefield 5 was such a shit game. Whatever.
And also another thing is like COD. What the fuck is COD? What COD are we getting? No information on COD. World War II Vanguard. Yeah. Like, who even gives a shit? If they combine it with the current generation of the Warzone, I'm never going back to COD. Ever. Like, they can fuck off with this stupid cross-integration between...
This is becoming your catchphrase, I'm never going back to.
Yeah. And then
you go back to when the new thing comes out.
No, you know where I'm coming from. This cross-integration between multiple different games.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's shit.
It doesn't work.
It turns me off of the game. So if World War II Vanguard will be the same thing, and then they'll probably slap Modern Warfare 2 onto it with Modern Warfare 1, Black Ops, Call of Duty World War 2. It's like, I ain't got any interest in that. I'm not gonna play it.
I don't blame you.
That's it. Like, two games that don't mean shit anymore.
I'll tell you what means shit. These messages. Life can be a dick sometimes, so get your dick from out your hand. And don't be a dick, wear a dick. Dick the Head t-shirts available now. Check the description below. Who wants to intro the question bit?
Welcome back to the second part of the Jar Media podcast, where we head over to
To what?
Reddit and answer some questions.
Yeah, like this one from Brendan RD, who's going to start us off. In episode 19 of the Corncast, a question was asked regarding which one of the JARCast thumbnails would you apply as a tattoo. It's got me wondering, if you were to have a child or pet and could only name them after the title of an episode, which title would you pick?
I find these questions so ridiculous because I have no fucking memory of any of the titles. None of them.
I think I'd just call my child Normal.
Fuck's sake, you took it right from my mouth. Yeah.
Which, how long is it going to take the Jarlings to figure out the secret surprise?
Well, hopefully before the deadline.
What is your pet or child, though, called?
Pet or child? I think we should.
Couple of cuds and 2 rocks.
What was the snuggly,
cuddly, and
snuggly and cuddly? Something like
that. Are you on there now, James?
Yeah.
Any notables?
There is quite a good. There is loads of good ones though.
Like?
One of the ones I found that I did like was Bish and Chips. Sonich improved. Bish and Chips.
There's yes, no, and maybe.
Hmm.
That's 3.
Maybe then.
Maybe?
Maybe? I don't know.
Corncast follower has one. Hello, Jar mediators. I just wanted to thank James for his openness and discussions on porn. The way he's talked about it since all the way back around episode 150 has helped me realise that I had a horrible addiction to it, and my perspective has shifted a lot since. I'm happy to report that I've gotten over it for the most part, and feel a lot healthier now, both mentally and physically. Thank you, James. P.S. I have a crush on Jamie, so I appreciate a hello dare from him.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
No, but it's good. It's good that talking about it makes people realise how, their consumption of it and how it is bad and can be bad.
What if it makes you happy though?
Yeah, Corncast follower.
No, doesn't make you happy. Food makes you happy.
So delete your Pornhub follower and your...
Yeah, buy some freebase, buy some cigarettes, buy some... What else is addictive?
Coffee?
Coffee.
Yeah,
Coffee's
coffee.
addictive.
Freebase, cigarettes, coffee. That's the trio to quit.
and Coke.
These 3 easy steps to quit porn addiction now.
And
on
full
the Jar
fat Coke
store.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, full fat Coke.
And Krispy Kremes. Pretty often as well.
Yeah, fast food.
Yeah,
KFC,
just go to McDonald's every day.
Yeah,
Especially on a November in 2020.
Yes, do that.
The Only Dick Pisser asks, on JARCast episode 2, you talk about an old friend who Alex convinced that gullible meant that you liked animals. What other stories does Alex or any of the other Jar Boys have of messing with people?
Every story related to that person, pretty much.
The main one that I could remember doing, the mischievous antic I remember enjoying the most, was just the screaming out the window of a car while it's driving.
Yeah, I hate that now though.
I hate that now.
People do it to me. Fucking fully grown men.
Yeah, no, because I was a child doing this, and I was never shouting rude words or swear words. It was just going bleh, bleh, or whatever. Fucking juvenile. But...
No, the worst thing was when we'd do that out the window to someone, and then the car would have to stop.
Yeah, there's lights.
The zebra crossing. And they're looking past, looking. We're just low in the seat.
On the subject of cars, you just reminded me of the event we witnessed yesterday.
Oh, dude, we forgot.
Why did we not talk about fucking hell?
James, please. Or...
I don't know how to explain this.
Jim, you were driving. You describe it.
Well, so does where we were driving matter?
No, just to Chippenham.
It's near Swindon, so that should put in context.
It's in the Swindon. It's within the what's the black hole word? The event horizon of Swindon. So we're just chilling, listening to some tunes, driving.
We are chilling. It was just a peaceful night, really chill. There was no traffic.
Yeah, it was 7 p.m.
There's 2 cars in front of me. What was the make of the...
The first was a black Nissan Juke, and the one behind it was a blue Honda Civic. FN2.
The Honda Civic, which I'm directly behind.
Yes.
So we approach the roundabout that enters this place. Chippers.
So there's you go straight or you go left.
Yeah.
There's 2 exits,
So the person directly in front of me is clearly fed up of the person directly in front of them going too slow. So as the person at the front starts going the correct way around the roundabout, the person in the Civic fucking puts their foot to the floor. They gun it round the wrong side of the roundabout.
In front of a van, mind, that was actually approaching the roundabout.
There's a van approaching the roundabout who, luckily this white van man was a sensible driver, like the only one within the ring of Swindon, and because the
Honda was going so fast he couldn't like cut it to get into the white lane.
If he had have cut round and properly exited he couldn't properly exit the roundabout at that point, but to get where he was going, he had to then mount the curb. I've never seen a car actually in person on the road get as much air as that did.
Yeah, it bounced high.
It fucking smacked onto the curb and launched itself straight down. Karma, the best showcase of karma I've ever seen. As soon as it smacked down, the hazard lights came on and it was slowing down. Then once we were on our way back, we went there and it was abandoned on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Clearly fucked. The car was fucked.
They fucking destroyed their car. They ramped their car basically over a roundabout just to get in front of one person.
And then fucked their car in the process.
It's a miracle they didn't cause like an awful accident.
How many weeks ago was I complaining about bad drivers in the Chippenham area?
Yeah.
I watch loads of dashcam videos. I love watching dashcam videos. I've never seen something so perfect as that, where it's the shitty thing to do and then the exact karma in the exact same situation.
Yeah, it was a perfect example of why you don't drive like an absolute fucking ass.
That's why you go round the roundabout the correct way.
Yeah.
Not the opposite way.
And when it happened, I just stopped at the roundabout. Like, there was nothing coming, but I was so thrown off because, like, in my mind, you just can't go the wrong way around a roundabout. It's just it does not.
It's flowing like water. It's like a river just suddenly going the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I started driving and I missed the actual bounce bit. So I didn't see how much it.
I just started screaming because I knew what had happened. I just instantly saw those hazards and I was just screaming as loud as possible, like laughing at his fucking cock.
I can't believe we nearly forgot to mention that.
I know.
I just wish we had a dash cam.
I know.
Because that would have been the
I wish
fucking best thing.
If it was your car.
Maybe if it was my car, it was me on the other side of the roundabout. But no, fuck me, it was incredible. I hope the police have saw it and were like, what the fuck's this going on?
Well, yeah, I hope the person who was perfectly in the right, just going around the roundabout normally, stopped and like called the police. Because that person driving should never drive again.
Yeah,
there's no reason for doing what they did.
No,
you shouldn't be flying like up and down the curbs and driving around.
And there was plenty of time before this to overtake that person.
You know, this is the thing.
A bunch of clear road there.
No, the thing is, we were doing the speed limit. We weren't doing like 30 and a 50. We weren't doing 40 and a 50. We were just obeying the speed limit. There was no issue. Like I always notice speed because I'm always like working it all in my head. Like we were fine, no issue at all. Perfect driving conditions, perfect speed, everything. So why the fuck would you do that? He could have just gone left. The person he was overtaking was going straight. Go left. But
yeah.
The empty
Problem
roads that
solved.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people, it's like the thing we talked about before. Monkey brain in a fucking car. They're just
They want to show off as well. They want to make that person know that they're overtaking them.
But all they accomplished was letting that person know they're the biggest fucking cock
and
in the world.
Ruined their car.
Yeah. And it would be expensive to replace because they would have fucked possibly the oil pan, the suspension, the tyres, the wheels.
Yeah, and is insurance even going to cover that if they actually know what happened?
They take a look at it, and because there won't be any physical damage of an impact, if you go to insurance company like, can you replace this, or I've had this accident, and they look at it and they only see suspension and engine damage.
Yeah, it's like, what did you do?
Yeah, it'll be
why did your car leave the ground?
Yeah, like, and it's like, I'm glad this person had a genuine walk of shame home.
Yeah,
because their car was fucked and they had to walk. I hope it's still there when I'm next in Chippenham's.
Yeah.
Because I'd actually leave a note and be like, I saw what you did, you fucking cock. Just leave it on their windscreen.
No, the sharing and Warrior has one for us. An awesome, like, just classic who is who type question. In the kind of Harry Potter way, you know, with the stupid houses and everything.
Oh, okay.
It's one of these style questions, but for a relevant topic we've been talking about. Question for Alex, but the other boys may answer too. Would you like to be a fire, water, earth, or air bender?
Oh. I know enough to also answer this.
I mean, Jim does too. I think I have to be fire. I got to be flamer, dude.
I guess in that vein, I
No.
must be Isa, so I'll be water.
Yeah. What's James?
Air.
Why?
See,
Why
my instinct is earth for James.
Yeah.
Why Earth for me?
You're quite earthen.
no.
Because I imagine you like working on your car by like huge blocks of rock like coming out of the ground, and you're like lifting your car up so you can go underneath it.
Okay, yeah, that makes complete sense. That is the perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just flame
Earth.
that's got to come out, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Yeah, water bending is lame until like the ice stuff comes in.
The ice and blood stuff.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the blood stuff, but like ice is cool, fire is cool, water lame.
Do you think so? I think water bending's cool. I think they're all cool.
Yeah, just breaking down the actual elements. Water is always the lamest.
Yeah, it tastes fucking yummy.
Yeah, I love it. I love water. It's my favourite out of the elements in terms of consumption.
You can also heal with it though in an avatar. It's like a
Yeah,
healing
true.
thing.
True. Heal my fucking eczema.
Yeah, maybe actually being a waterbender would be sick.
Yeah, just have perfect skin.
Bubba Ducky has a fucked up one. Hello, American James here from the pasta debate. Felt really surreal hearing you guys talk about your friend giving into a weird Catholic cult and him being out of your lives back when I first listened to that JARCast. But this week my friend died at the age of 22 from heart disease. How do you guys deal with unstoppable changes in your life? Are there any jar equivalents for you that have helped you get through a rough time? I might end up using strange overtones for a tribute video to be played at the funeral, by the way. Thanks, Alex, for reminding me about that masterpiece my friend probably loved. He was an intense Talking Heads fan. So sorry to hear that, bro. That's fucking horrible.
Really sorry. I don't think any of us has ever lost anyone.
Yeah, not like that.
No.
But you gotta keep moving forward. It's just the day by day. Take each day as it comes, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's hard to give advice because, you know, we've given advice things before with like mental health and all of this, but I think those situations are so like a lot of people can't ever comprehend them until it happens.
Yeah.
Until you've got that experience. Because like with mental health, like if you've got a certain amount of empathy, you can still support people when they're struggling. But with that, it's one of those things where it's I don't know what I can say about it because it's so like I can't even begin to understand it, you know. But it's just like it's the best I can do is to do, you know, follow the normal advice like with mental health is to just take it slow, you know, just try and focus on
and like
things.
I guess try and to not like mask anything you're actually feeling about it.
Yeah, be open to people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fucked up thing.
Yeah, it's like even the concept of it fucks me up. If I think about you, like of you dying, I'm like, yeah, this is I can't even begin to like comprehend this. It'll just fuck me up like so bad.
Well, seeing as we're already on fucked up topics, George is not okay as one. Hey guys, I was wondering if any of you guys feel self-conscious about your body image or physical health often. I ask because I've been trying to exercise by walking often, going for runs, doing circuits and all that stuff. But for some reason I can never shake the thought I'm way less fit than everyone else. I'm guessing from social media and that sort of stuff I've gotten this really unrealistic ideal body image in my head. And I constantly compare myself to it even if I'm actually pretty healthy. Just eat some crap sometimes and I'll have a good cast, lads.
Yeah, self-consciousness is like a hard thing to kick. It is almost like a habit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's yes.
I've talked about it before, where like, in that early jar clip where my legs are just like twigs. In that era, I thought I was like overweight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's always been something I've been trying to deal with, but
Yeah, it's been something that's been more on my mind recently, because you guys know that I'm like, I say a lot about sugar content now, and it's like, you know, I'm eating much healthier as I've ever been. Like, you know, I always eat fruit, like snacks and all that's out my diet. It's all like fruit, you know, vegetables in most meals, and you know, yogurts and whatnot. Like, I try to eat the best I can. I exercise constantly, but it's still in my head that the biggest thing, and I think the way body image works now, you know, with Instagram and whatnot, it's like normal things, like your stomach will have a certain amount of like just kind of roundness. It's like completely healthy the way your stomach is, your belly, but it's like because of Instagram you've got these fucking actors that are like being paid.
They don't say in like the bio like, yeah, sorry about my like water weight this morning, like I drank like loads of water today, or you know what I mean. It's usually the opposite. Like, I didn't drink water for 2 days, so I could take an awesome picture.
Films contribute to it as well.
Yeah.
Films,
especially now with like the way Marvel actors have to look and shit.
When Kumail Nanjiani is like just some side character getting shredded for like...
Yeah, just cut to ribbons.
And it's like with stuff like that, is they can only do that because they're getting paid to. They've got all the nutritionists. I've said this before, I've had arguments with people online because the whole PewDiePie thing. And it's like, I know people who do like personal trainers and whatnot, and I've asked them, and they've been like, yeah, you can't really do that at home. And all these people have this idea that you can achieve this obscene like low body fat and pure muscular like body when you with like a home gym and whatnot, where it's like, no. If you want that body, you've got to dedicate yourself to it. That's your hobby. No Xbox, no junk food, no nothing. It's gym. You know, that's not like when you're working 9 till 5 every day, you're not going to go home and do all these like 22-hour sessions. Like if that's your thing, then yeah, like I've got respect for anyone who's like super into fitness and that's their thing. I respect that. But to put this onto like normal, like the fact that if you don't have that body, it's like, you know, you're unhealthy and all of this, when that's not the case at all. You know, it's like...
Yeah, because we were talking yesterday about how in the sort of late 90s, early 2000s, how different the beauty standards were. And it was about like your Paris Hilton kind of super skinny thing. It's always constantly changing what is considered attractive at the time.
I'd say it only changes as much for women than it does men.
I don't know. I think back in that time, all the hottie men were thinner, less ribbed.
Yeah,
they were like bodybuilders like Arnie and stuff, but I don't think they were really sex symbols in the same way. Like,
it was like loads of boy bands and stuff like that.
Yeah. Whereas now it's sort of due to Marvel and stuff. People like Chris Hemsworth and Superman.
Henry Cavill. Well, I showed you a picture the other day of what Chris Hemsworth's arms look like for the new Thor, and it's like just getting ridiculous. Some of the stuff.
It's the whole thing. It fucks with me quite a lot because like I'm quite skinny. Like I'm lanky, I'm tall, and I'm not bit. Like the thing is, no matter with all body standards and all this, everyone's different. Everyone has different genetics, which means they're instantly going to be a different type of body. I am just thin and long. I cannot help that, you know. I eat really well, and I exercise, and it doesn't change anything. This is just how I am, and it's like, why should I beat myself up because I'm not one of these fucking whipped dudes? Because I just can't gain that the way they can. And I've tried, you know, I've done all these powders and protein stuff. My body doesn't change, and I still work out regularly. I still do constant exercise, and it just doesn't, because that's the way my body am. And I just bully myself the fact that I've got a little bit of fat here and all that, but I don't.
Yeah, that thing of like looking at yourself in the mirror and like really analysing shit, and no one's looking at you under the microscope the way you do, because they're too busy looking at themselves and feeling the exact same shit. And it's hard. I mean, it's near impossible when you're like in a social situation. Like you behave to like fit in and shit, you know. And so
yeah, for sure,
people aren't gonna look at you and like, oh, he's wearing those fucking lame ass socks. Or like, he's wearing this shit and not that shit. He looks a bit chubby today. It's like people don't think like that.
No.
But in your head, like people do, because you're thinking it.
I've spoken to you before, but it's like with this, there's always influence for other people. I've always been skinny. I grew up with my parents constantly pointing out that I'm skinny all the time for fucking 15 years of my life. Till like 18 actually, all the time, skinny. Then I reach, post like 2 years ago, and I'm trying to put on weight because I lost fuck done, and then it's like, oh, I'm fat. My same parents are now calling me fat, and I'm only like 11 stone. Like, what the fuck does that do to a developing mind when it's like, you're too skinny, you're too fucking fat?
Yeah,
and then
time.
I was getting all the fat comments, and it was just like, I'm now super healthy. I've lost weight since then, and then I'm getting comments from like friends that are like, oh, people are saying you're too top heavy. Like, how the fuck can anyone fucking work and have confidence in their body when you're getting all these different contrasting opinions all the time? Like, one of the biggest things I had as a teenager was I never wear shorts because I was so paranoid about my legs being thin. So I never wore shorts. So that's why I always wore like trackies. And that's why I used to say to you, like, oh, I always wear trackies, jeans, they're for chavs, It all comes back to that, like, fear of, like, showing my body. Even now, I can't really go to a beach because I'd be so paranoid about my body. Even though I have no reason to. No reason at all.
Well, yeah, because it would have been drilled into your head.
Yeah, and it's like, the best thing you can do for someone's body, my parents still do this for my sister, and they still do it at the time, and I get fucking pissed, but you never ever make comments about someone else's body. Ever. Doesn't matter if they're your best friend or your family, just don't. Let them just work the way out the way they will feel about their own
What if
body.
you want to, like, compliment them? Say,
Yeah, no, as in negative. Don't say negative things about someone's body. Ever. Like,
I'm just trying to think, like, what if someone, like, had, like, a bad haircut, for example? How'd you handle that?
All the time. No, that's different. I think hair different. Because you can control what you do with your hair. You can't control your body,
Yeah,
So you can make comment, like, if you say my hair looks shit, I'll just be like, yeah, I know. Because it does, But it's like if you're saying, like, my body looks shit, or I look fat or skinny, that messes with the mind more. I think,
there are more sensitive ways you could approach things like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
but it's like, but there's like, there's people out there who say shit to that their partners, and it's just like, you're not really understanding of like any of that type of stuff with the way the brain works if you're making those comments. I think you can do everything positively. Instead of critiquing someone's body, you can just like show an interest in them and what they're doing, and if they're like going to gym, you can tag along. You can be like a positive reinforcement to change instead of being negative.
Yeah, because the change has to come from the individual. It's all well and good everyone around you always like just saying whatever they feel. If you can't take it on board in any constructive way, it just will drive you insane. Yeah, and we missed out on like that huge chunk of social media when we were younger too. So I don't even know how insane it's getting with that kind of shit.
No, it's bad. No, it's really bad now. Like, I just feel sorry for especially young girls with the way it is on Instagram. It's like that shit's hard, and it's gonna have consequences when they're much older.
The thing is, as it shifts to more of everyone's life being like shown online, it's not just about appearance. It's about, look at this house this person has, look at this car.
Yeah.
It already is, really.
But I mean, like, it's...
Because some people, they genuinely have dedicated their entire lives to nothing but the image. But I feel like it needs to be more about like you and your own self and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's fucking pointless.
But the thing is, like,
never be satisfied.
All these people that show themselves off as like just fucking stunning all the time and shit. It's like bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's so fakeable more than ever, and it's just gonna keep going in that direction where people just have like a 3D render of their ripped body, and then they can be fat for the rest of their life, and they'll just hide in a hole and post pictures of them with their six-pack in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, their digital implant. They'll be perfect. Yeah.
And it's all pointless.
It's just, the thing is just to enjoy the way you live. Just enjoy the way you live, how you want to live, Don't worry about what other people think ever, even if it's hard to do. You just have to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and making like an effort to be healthy too.
Yeah, no, we like, you know what, I wouldn't talk about like porn addiction if I wasn't trying to be like to make people aware, but it's just like living healthy is a very good thing, because it's like it means you enjoy life more, because you're just, you know, your mind's in a better place and you're physically in a better place.
If you know you're doing that sort of stuff, I feel like you just don't worry about it as much. If you're actively, you know, not eating a packet of wine gums of an evening, then yeah, I don't know, maybe that's the opposite. Maybe if you're thinking about not eating something.
Obama's Gaming 1234 has this to say: Hey Jar members, my brother and I were talking about the new Battlefield and how disappointed that it was not set during the Vietnam War. However, that got us both thinking, is it insensitive to depict a real war in a video game? Many games have come out in the past few years that have depicted past wars and have actively encouraged the character to murder their opponents. Does that not glorify these events? I had never thought of this before, and I'm somewhat conflicted. Any insight would be appreciated. How do you feel? 'Cause I think I've always disagreed with you guys on this. I've always felt weird about.
Is it glorification if you're playing a medieval real battle?
No.
Then why is it?
Well, it depends. It depends what we're talking about, because I specifically have more of an issue with like the aesthetic of like modern military, like our real lives being, I don't know. It's specifically Call of Duty and the Call of Duty audience that makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
Knowing it's I just find it sad, I guess, that the biggest video game and the most successful video game is the one that celebrates the imagery of like atrocities that we commit and everything.
Yeah, there's a disconnect, but I mean, in that vein, so World War II is fine.
Well, here's the thing though, because it's more complicated than that. It's deeper than that, because there are modern military games that do like that handle it with care.
Spec Ops.
Like Spec Ops, yeah, we've mentioned Spec Ops a few times, but Spec Ops is such an exception, I feel like.
Yeah.
Thinking just multiplayer, how do you send a message that war is bad while making it a war game?
Yeah, and that's why I just don't play them. I don't enjoy existing in that. I get why people do. For me, I want to go into video games to escape that kind of fucking real world horror conflict shit, but I get it. Planes and cars and tanks are cool and stuff.
Yeah, to me it's so disconnected for the most part with modern military stuff that like the stuff you're doing in the game it's just not realistic in any form.
Oh no.
It's just pure fiction using the setting of like the technology we have now. And to me that's it. Because one thing I think Call of Duty should do is tell better stories. Mm-hmm. Because like Modern Warfare,
maybe that's what it is.
The latest Modern Warfare has the most like Western military jerk off. Like they commit atrocities, yeah, but they have to. That's the message of Modern Warfare, and I think that's a fucking terrible one.
On the subject of this, are you aware of the Fallujah game?
Yeah, I am.
That's like
made by ex-Bungie people.
I find that to be disgusting.
What's it called again?
6 days.
6 days in Fallujah. Yeah.
And what is the game?
So Fallujah was the last stronghold of like Saddam Hussein loyalists in like the Iraq War, and that's where like the last part of the war was there, and it was the American invasion of that to like, and coincidentally, if you look up the founding of ISIS, it's in the same place. It's like they're trying to depict it as like this whole like.
Is it a single player game?
Yes, I think so. But it's like supposed to take this like really hard like pro-American view on it, and it's like you shouldn't even been there in the first place. Like I think that's the worst for it of this like American glorification. of a war they really shouldn't even have been in the first place.
Yeah, that adds another layer of complication to it, though, because them are getting into the territory of, like, you're stopping stories being made or enjoyed.
This is what I was going to say. I don't think a story shouldn't be told through video games just because, like, it's sensitive or whatever. It's on the person or the people making the story to tell it in a way that.
But it's also clearly what people want. It's popular for a reason. It's what people want.
Yeah. Yeah, it's humans have just always been fascinated with conflict. It's why video games, bar very few, are just about killing. That's what you do in the majority of them.
Yeah.
But this person mentioned that is it just not possible to make stories based on real conflicts now?
The question was about Battlefield 2042, right?
Well, they was disappointed it wasn't set in Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam is tricky, especially because of how blurry that conflict was.
Not really blurry at all. Like that was just. That's one I feel wrong about because it's like all of it. It's always depict America as like like the good guys, Well,
all the best Vietnam movies do the opposite.
Yeah, but I don't find it's never been translated to games though. I don't think.
I guess it's just an inherent contradiction is having the fun, awesome, bombastic gameplay around explosions and real guns and stuff.
And killing,
And then, you have to be using them. I mean, I guess what always just rings in my head is just thinking about how many young kids were like obsessed with Call of Duty to the degree where it seemed to be like they wanted to be soldiers and shit.
Which is what a military's pry off. They're making everything to look like Call of Duty season drops. Everything. All the advertising. They're trying to do that. They're trying to get that audience.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not my thing. I've never really been into that whole like war games stuff. But I do think you should be able to tell whatever story you want, like as long as it's genuine and true. And you feel like you have something to say. I guess that's what it is, because with your like CODs and stuff, they're such products. They're such like huge scale.
They do that thing that Ubisoft always says, where it's like, oh, we don't have a political opinion on this,
which is bullshit, because they like editing out. They were editing out footage of COD trailers that was showing sensitive stuff from China, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like, how is it not political when the first thing you do in Modern Warfare is what is it? You white phosphorus, like a group of Middle Easterns.
What Modern Warfare? The most recent
the
one?
latest Modern Warfare.
When?
First mission. You're in the forest.
The Russians.
Are they Russians?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, even that's political. Yeah, using white phosphorus is political. The story is about...
No, it's not. Jamie, it's just used as a smoke screen. It's just a smoke screen, okay?
No, and like...
it's
chemical weapons and shit. Just the fact... They made the story based in a fictional Middle Eastern country. But putting it in the Middle East...
It's political.
It's political.
Oh, I didn't know it was like fictional. It just looks like just straight up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made like a fictional country for it. I could be wrong.
It's this idea of glorifying that is super interesting, because we talk about like Pink Floyd The Wall a lot. A big part of that movie, that story, is like satirizing like fascists, like Nazis. But in real life, that became, for a small sect of people, like a new imagery, a new thing to, like a new identity to wrap themselves around. Yeah. Like people find their thing, and it's not necessarily the fault of the original for just sort of commenting on.
No, it's not. But I think you can make bad commentary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just don't trust them and Activision and all of it.
Yeah. But this person is right, a Vietnam Battlefield game would be way better than 2042.
See, I don't think they can.
Why?
Because there's already been a Battlefield Vietnam, and then there's been the Battlefield Vietnam expansion for BC2.
Yeah, why can't they? They've made World War II games before. They made 5. They've made...
Because I think Battlefield to get back on the top, it needs to be modern.
No, because they got back on top by making a World War I game.
And then they went off the top by making a World War II game.
A bad World War II game.
Yeah, so they need to make a good modern day one and then go back.
It's not modern day though, it's future, the thing that everyone is over. And it's just fucking boring. It's so boring when Battlefield and COD are doing the same thing.
Yeah, because that was such a cringe gamer era when Battlefield 4 was coming out. It was
Battlefield 3.
Sorry, 3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the 2
Yeah.
3s. Yeah, God, it was even older than I was thinking. Christ.
See, I just prefer shooters like Apex now. You can just do more with that. Because it's like, it's not trying to be modern and edgy. It's just like, silly robot. Boom.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of the time, like, mechanics can be dragged down by the era you set it in. Like, if you... Like, Halo is so much more fun than the... Halo 3 is more fun than the latest Modern Warfare. And the latest Modern Warfare is like vehicles and shit that multiple people can get in. Not fun.
Shit. It's shit, is all it is.
Yeah, and like, in the 50 caliber guns on the top of like a tank in Battlefield 4, useless.
Yeah.
Because it's a game, people can just shoot you out the top of it.
And you don't get kills because you're on a tank. You know, the tank does all the stuff that is the fun part.
So it's like, it's not designed to fit into a game. It's just put into a game because it's in real life.
Yeah, interesting topic there.
You lose like balancing as well when you've got to have all these completely accurate vehicles. And just make things all fucking sci-fi and fucking creative. Things are better.
Yeah, make
that
shit
way.
fun.
Yeah,
That's the priority.
make games fun again.
I mean, it's not the priority with every video game, but
There's that,
it's a
I totally
multiplayer
get it, because there's a huge sect of gaming that is all about like simulations and wanting to simulate things that you would never be able to do, and wanting to go into a simulation to like go into like a firing range or something and fire a real gun. I get that. I do.
yeah,
understand
I think that at some point, the further simulations go along, there's gonna have to be a line, game simulations.
Yeah.
Because like.
No, because these like fishing simulators, these farming simulators, these truck simulators, like they're like people joke about them, but they're fucking huge.
Yeah, when they're
People play it.
photorealistic. Like,
Yeah.
Like I like, to me, like no matter how extreme you make a racing simulator, it's always going to be a game. Because at the end of the point, all these professional racing drivers, they all practice on race simulators.
The act of a race is a game as well, though, inherently.
Yeah, so it's like that's always going to be a game to me, even when it's like so extreme. Because it's still kind of casual. It's just like, I'm going to drive on a track, boom, then you can go do your other stuff. Just not when you're killing Middle Eastern people in the simulator game. Like, you know, that's
that's what I mean. Like that.
But can that also go too far? Because I recently played some of Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, which is.
And I remember a controversy from when that came out, because it's set in Africa. It was like inherently racist because the zombies were like black people.
Yeah, and you're playing as like a white guy.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense.
But I didn't get the vibe that it was like trying to be racist, or it just seemed like they were in Africa.
Yeah, no, that is one of the most laughable like articles.
Yeah,
I think
of journalism.
From what I've seen, like I think the visual style of the start of that game in Africa is really cool for like a horror game.
Yeah,
but it's like, why would
games journalism does just destroy any nuance from these kind of conversations.
but what the implication is, because they wanted a story where the character of Chris Redfield, it's like the end of his story, and they were like, let's base it in Africa. And then, so the journalists would have preferred it if they based it in Africa and had no black zombies.
Which would be way weirder.
Yeah, it would be just stupid. So then, the other option is make a new character and just like have a totally different story, or I guess don't base it in Africa, but like
I find that type of criticism silly when it's the game. He punches a fucking boulder and fights this huge monster like it's fucking Resident Evil. Why does it matter?
Yeah, that one has always stuck in my mind for just being like such a non-issue. Maybe there's something in the other part of the game I haven't played, but from the half of the game I played, nothing.
Legit, there's nothing like even remotely
it just seemed
racist
like
about the game.
Yeah, it
it's
just seems
Resident
like
Evil.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of nutter Japanese devs just like doing what they want. Let's end on this one from Bill Hader Gaming. And this is huge. I've been saving this. I was rewatching the JARCast featuring Shreddies, the incredible fart filtering underwear, and thought I'd visit their website to see what the noble brand was up to today. To my astonishment, I found their most recent product, the Car Banana. It's a banana-shaped beanbag of sorts that is designed to sit between the buttocks, not too deep, and absorb gases before they escape your underwear. There's only one size, but supposedly you're still able to walk/waddle around your busy day like usual, just with a beanbag strapped to your cheeks like an overgrown tailbone. It's the natural evolution to Shreddies, but can you imagine the raw power made available by combining it with yesterday's Shreddy technology? My question is, when can we expect a 45-minute dissertation on whether the car banana is as good as they say?
Why is it called a car banana?
Because I guess because that was the gimmick with the Shreddies under, the carbon lining thing.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a banana.
The carbon banana, right.
It looks like a banana, which I thought was fucking
Is it not
weird.
supposed to be used in a car, like a car journey? Because that's how I took it.
No, you just whenever you need it.
No,
you know?
carbon banana, car banana.
Yeah, carbon.
No, this is weird. This might actually be the future of human, like evolution. Because what's always been funny? Butt cheeks. Butt cheeks are funny. This thing fills in the cheek, so it's just like one thing.
Don't you hate that it's like weird jar banana thing as well? Like it's all like linked.
Oh yeah,
can you get a yellow one?
Well, they have a picture of banana as reference, I guess.
A car banana.
No, a real banana.
Oh.
Down there, look.
Oh right.
I don't think it'll work. Personally.
Well, 20 quid and we can find out.
20 quid and we can find out. We can fart in it all day
long. Do you put it up your butt
quid?
Or?
Yeah. No. What if
That's the ultimate, like, that's the peak Shreddies technology. Some, like, thing you actually put up your butt that, like, just absorbs all your farts.
Yeah,
what, so they don't
shit it out later.
So surely the Shreddies aren't good anymore when you could just buy a car banana.
Well, it depends.
Well, ideally, you'd have both.
Yeah, with the banana.
Or is this an underwear replacement, so you don't need to wear underwear?
No, but surely that is probably more comfortable than Shreddy's underwear. With that huge layered...
I don't know. It's like trading a nappy for a banana just in your ass.
There's only one thing we can do. Test it.
You do love bananas, James.
I haven't had one in a few days.
Ooh. Well,
I'm down. Shreddies, hit us up.
Hit us up with your car banana. We'll test it. Boom.
I hated that.
Yeah, we can whip out the minion onesies and get our banana and then fucking sit down and.
Ugh.
I don't want to put things between my cheeks.
Yeah, that sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, because
especially something the size of a banana. That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how far do you push it into your cheek? Do you, like as far as it can go? So then it's encompassed by the cheek, or is it just on the entrance?
Yeah, this is what
funny imagery.
It sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not.
Surely the priority is just covering the sphincter.
But you've got to have like a vacuum between
the cheek, the carb banana and the cheek. You know?
The anus and the lands between.
I got shit on my car banana again.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Because if you Even just a
You're,
little
like,
bit of a
farting
shitty ass. Because underwear doesn't touch your asshole. I've got a feeling the carbonana.
No, but if you have a really shitty ass and you don't wipe it all properly, or like gun is. You're like guns in between. But what happens when you need to go to the toilet and it goes straight in the toilet?
Forget that it's there.
It comes in black and white, and like no one buys the white one.
That can't end badly. Not with my like fucking post like kebab fucking pooey ass. Nah.
Well, I just find it funny because they're like designing this stuff with specific people in mind. You know, that like suffer with these kind of things. It's like, here's
really
your solution. Fucking shove this banana between your legs and fucking let rip into it, and the carbon will sort it out. Well, maybe there's like a fan out there that's like, it's their lifesaver. Who knows?
Maybe. I hope so. I hope we helped at least one person who stinks of shit to not stink of shit anymore.
Should I tweet on the Jar Media Twitter? Have you ever got shit on your carbonana? Just with a yes or no vote.
Anyone that owns one has got shit on it.
You can't not get shit on it.
Whether it's visible or not.
Mm.
It's there. And it's waiting.
Right, surely it's washable, right?
I don't know. This is what the deep dive is for.
We need to just get one and like read the instructions. And
yeah, I have no hope in it.
Here we go. I'll read the description. New for 2020, the Carbonana is an innovative product. Designed with air travel in mind, it offers you discreet protection when you need it most. The Carbonana can also be worn anywhere, like the car, the office, or public transport, helping our customers avoid potential embarrassment. Cleaning security scanners. The Carbonara can be placed in the hand luggage trays and worn once you've cleared security. The banana shape of the product is designed to sit between the buttocks and absorb gases before they escape your underwear.
Wait, can I just say one thing? Have you ever smelled fart on an airplane? I haven't.
No.
Because there's like... The scientific truth is that like food tastes different because you can't smell as much of it. Like you can't smell things in planes. So like I've never smelled a fart. So why does it matter for air travel?
But they're saying so you're on your way to the plane. You're going through the security.
So you got to take it out.
You got to take it out your ass. Put it in this thing. Walk through
scanned.
the gate. Get scanned. And then just chuck it back in.
Yeah, but what happens if you forget and you walk through and they detect it and then they detect something?
And they're like, oh,
because if it's up your bum, they're going to think it's drugs. So you're going to go for the full fucking strip search. And it's like, oh.
No, it's a Carbonana.
You don't know how many times we hear that.
The new slang's getting crazier than ever.
But surely that's a good way to traffic drugs. Take out all the inside, fill it with cocaine.
No, guys, it's just my Carbonana. Fucking hell. I think that's it, guys.
Okay.